So hi everyone, I hope that you're having a great day so far. I just wanted to come and make a video of basic demonstration of how to get started with reflexology, foot reflexology for those who may be new to this. I do a lot of DIY bodyworks videos and have a playlist that you can avail yourself to. And I always like to get started with hydration. It's one of the things I highly encourage because it's very important to be hydrated on the onset and also hydrated after the process. And so I'm going to get started with just a few sips of water. I am hydrated, but I always like to get started with water. And I'm encouraging you, if you're going to be working along with me during this time, to drink some water as well. And on the note of hydration, I'm actually going to be featuring a new lotion that is great for hydration. So I'm going to be actually using some of this today. It's my first time actually going to be working with this. So again, if you're going to be working along with me, I encourage you to get some moisturization going for yourself. Okay, and I'll come back and put some more on this one if I happen to use my left foot. But I'm going to be actually getting started with my right foot. So to do a general protocol for overall well-being, to work on some important areas that are going to be able to help you better optimize your wellness agenda, we're going to get started with a quick warm-up. And this warm-up is opening up what is known to be the hip flexors. It's under your ankle bones here, and you just take the blades of your hand, and this is just a warm-up, and just start rubbing under there, and just allow your foot to dangle. And what this is doing is opening up the hips and really helping the functionality throughout all of your body. It's really just setting you up for your total well-being. And with your hip flexors being opened up, it's just basically providing the necessary support that you need throughout this process. So I recommend doing this for about 30 seconds. But for demonstration purposes, I may not be going 30 seconds or so. So after that, then we want to take your foot like this and start to do some foot twists. And this is actually really known as the spinal, sort of spinal twist here. And so before I actually get started with doing some basic reflexology, one of the things I want to do is provide kind of a background for those who may not be really familiar with the concept. And so reflexology is one of those modalities that's not a linear process as it relates to the operation of it. And what I mean by that is there are different areas on the foot and on the hands that you press or you work on, and it's stimulating different levels of functionality in the body, primarily to your major organs. And so we're not working directly on a specific organ, we're working, on the feet. So there's different areas that you touch, again, that they're providing higher stimulation and well-being to different areas and aspects of the body. So that's really important to know that, because life kind of works the same. Sometimes you have to work on another area to actually stimulate another area of life, for your total well-being. And so in getting started, as I was opening up with doing the hip flexor, and thinking, what does the hip flexor have to do with working on your feet? But again, it's actually stimulating the well-beingness throughout the entire body, and as I mentioned, providing stability and support for setting up for your best experience. So right here, from the bottom of your heel right here on the inside, sort of, of your foot here, all the way up to the big toe, is considered the spine reflex. So let me see if I can position myself a little bit better so you can see that. So from here to here is considered the spine reflex. So it's good to work on this area, especially to stimulate your central nervous system, which we know is the hub and functionality of the communication factor, you know, as it relates to sending the different signals out to the body for the highest level of functionality. So we're going to start by doing some worm walks up the spine. And so I'm just going to show you just in a basic demonstration, you know, how to get started here. So you're just moving up, and you can watch me first and then come back and work along with me. And then go back down. Okay, so we're going to do this together. I recommend doing this about 3 times, but I'm not going to do 3 times because this is basically just for a demonstration purpose, you know, for you, but I am instructing you and encouraging you to do this at least 3 times. So let's go back up, or for some of you who are just starting, let's go up here. And you can do this in a variety of ways. You can wiggle your fingers as you go up, or you can just kind of walk up. And again, this is stimulating your nervous system, you know, your spine. Okay. And again, the goal would be to go back up at least 3 times. So we're going to work here in the big toe area, and this is where the brain is. Okay, so the brain is right here. This is known as the pineal gland, and then the pituitary gland is right here. And so right here is the neck area. This is the nose, and here's the mouth. Also your thyroid gland, starts coming down in this area to your thymus gland here. So we're going to work in this area. And all this works the face. Here's working the brain, which is very important. Get that stimulation going. So you can do some kind of worm walks down. When you get right here where the pituitary gland is, you can press in here. Do some deep breathing. All right. So that's an important area to work. So right in here are the lungs. So if we want to work the respiratory system, working right in here is the lung area. And this is the diaphragm here. Right in here is the thymus gland. So I'm going to show you kind of how to work that area. So right here, you're working the lungs. Just do some dot to dots here. I recommend staying in each area probably about 60 seconds. So if you ever want to get out ahead of colds and congestion, yeah, work in this area here in the lungs, and then right in here in the thymus gland area. All right. And so I mentioned about the diaphragm, but I actually want to work up underneath the diaphragm. And right up underneath the big toe is considered the adrenal gland. So you can just do some rubbing here. If you're ever feeling fatigued, need some energy, just work this area right in here. And then right down underneath, closer to the middle, is the kidney reflex. And so the kidney reflex is one of those areas that I normally say you don't have to stay in that area as long. So you want to do just a few hooks. And you can do some rubbing, as well. Doing some hooks. There we go. All right. So another area, I'm actually going to come back up here, is if you ever have sinus congestion, you suffer with chronic sinus issues, working the pads of the toes, the tips of the toes, those are known as the sinus pads. And so you can do some gentle walking, or you can put pressure on it, just have to be in tune and in touch with your body, and start just walking down and making hooks in the little indention, pressing and taking a deep breath. And so you can do that with each toe. So just do some walking down those sinus pads. And then right in here, you can start to dig in. And this helps to work the sinus areas, as well. It's known as the piano hands. Another thing that I recommend if working the sinuses is really to work the entire toe. Just work the entire toe. And do that with all of them. One of the things I try to provide with these videos without getting so technical is I like to do the demonstrations so that you can just kind of see it in real time. And it takes the intimidation out of the process. So even if you're just rubbing your toes, that's helping out with the sinuses tremendously. And again, just digging in here. All right. So another area is that from here on down is considered to be your intestinal tract area, part of the urinary tract area. Your bladder is over here. But if you ever feel constipated, or you feel like you need to just work in your intestinal area, just start to do some rubbing from here on down. And again, you can stay in these areas for about 60 seconds. You can work it like this, do some dot to dot here. Yeah, and just some general rubbing. So I just wanted to be able to just provide that those are areas that you can work on just to improve your overall well-being. At least once or twice a week, spend some time in this area. But like getting started, as I mentioned before, this is just a great general well-being protocol to start incorporating, into your week so that you can start to improve your overall well-being. If you have great health already, it's only going to just, enhance it. So I just wanted to be able to come forth and show this. Also, I have 2 playlists, and you can avail yourself, to those videos where I am covering a variety of different areas, and that can help you out tremendously. And there'll be links to those playlists below. And as always, I love to feature my publication, I Touch Myself and I Like It. It's a DIY self-massage, acupressure, reflexology, and Wealth-flex-ology journal recorder. And it is available on Amazon, but there will be a link in the description box below, so you definitely can secure a copy of that. So I hope that this video was helpful for those who are just trying to get started and just learn just some basic techniques to improve your well-being. And I look forward to being back with you soon.